What's up? It's your boy Daniel Charles Williams coming back at you again on my way to work. And it was crazy. Last night I was trying to make a video and I wound up getting pulled over by the cops. And I'll go on that rant in a minute. But anyway, so I wanted to talk about the working class struggle, but it's three things which contributes to the working class struggle. I just want to talk about that. It's not going to be a reselling video. I guess I'll talk about a little bit of reselling, but I just want to talk about the struggle, like the working class struggle. And I know it's not like a struggle like people may have if they dealing with like alcohol or dealing with drugs or, you know what I'm saying, dealing with abuse or anything like that. But it's definitely a financial struggle the working class has. And it's three things that can contribute to that, right? So number one is television, right? So television. The reason why television contributes to it, because that is where we, you know, and I don't want to sound like it's like a conspiracy theory, but that's how like the brainwashing starts, right? So the brainwashing starts when you watch television, because what's in television, you got a bunch of commercials, and in these commercials in this television that we watch, right? I try not to watch too much TV. I wonder if my headpiece is hooked up. My microphone. Oh, well, maybe you can hear me. I don't know. I'll find out once I play it back. But anyway, when you watch television, there are commercials that tell you what to buy, right? Entice you, brainwash you, whatever. I say brainwash you into buying certain things, right? Because you don't know what to buy. You don't know anything about what to buy unless television tells you or tells your group of people, and then therefore it starts to you know, become a part of your everyday thinking, right? So that is how we get caught up into buying things that we cannot afford, right? Because, you know, if you have an advertisement, they don't care if you can afford the item or not. They're still going to try to push it on you. So that's one of the things that contributes to the working class struggle, right? So the working class struggle obviously is a financial struggle, and television and advertisements and stuff. And now that they even have, you know, now that you have a DVR and you have these you know, certain things you can bypass commercials, they are attempting to embed the commercials inside the television shows, right? You know, Pepsi, Toyota. I think I was watching Blackish, and it was talking about like Buick inside the commercial, or whatever it is. But it's just, you know, they push it, and that's what causes us to be in a financial struggle, because now we, you know, we attempt to buy these things that we can't afford, right? So that's number one, all right? Commercials, television, that's number one. And we got to be conscious of that, right? Number two is debt, okay? Is debt, and debt, right? So obviously you buy things which you can't afford, and therefore get you into debt. So that is number two. So that, of course, is real estate debt, all right? You want to get a home, and everybody tries to do the same thing. They get a home. Obviously, you can't afford the home. You can't afford the home, but yet you buy the home. So we push right here in America. That is how you own a home, right? All right, you get yourself a mortgage for a mortgage for your entire life. for the majority of your life. You get yourself into debt for the majority of your life, and and you have to pay it every month like clockwork, right? So that's a tough thing to do when life happens. You know what I'm saying? You get laid off from a job. You might just get tired of a job. You know what I mean? You might get injured, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You still have to pay that mortgage payment, all right? So that mortgage payment is not an easy thing. It's not an easy payment to make, right? Because it's probably one of your largest payments that you have, and so forth and so forth, right? So I don't want to get too much into that, but you already know that is a struggle that we face, right? We want a nice house, boom, mortgage, we're in debt, and then of course following that, what else you want? You want a nice car. Same thing with a car, you know what I'm saying? You just don't have to pay it as long, but sometimes there's a substantial payment depending on what type of car you buy. That debt gets a hold of you, and it's just tough to kind of shake, right? So I'm not even, of course you got student loans, you got mortgage payments, you got car payments, and then of course you have credit cards, okay? All those things, right? So all these things is what's advertised to you. You get caught up, you get, stuck under these things, and it's just such a struggle to get out of it, right? Struggle. So it becomes more than, a payment. All of these things, this debt that we in, it becomes your lifestyle, right? It becomes your life. And it's so tough to shake, okay? So, and it's not just the action or the physical, shaking of it. It's a mental shake, right? So yes, you can get yourself from out of it, struggle to get yourself from out of it, out of debt, by legitimately paying it off. But if you pay it off, you still have to work on fixing your mental state, right? So paying off is one thing, but staying out of debt is another thing, right? So that's a tough thing to do, all right? So that's the struggle obviously we have as working class people. The last one which is number 3, the last one is job, employment, right? So some people say, hey, why? I mean, how can being employed contribute? Because basically you get stuck working a job in most cases, a job you do not like, right? A job you do not like, but yet you cannot stop going because you have to pay the bills, right? You have to pay the bills, and it destroys your flexibility, right? Your flexibility is gone when you work a job. It's gone. Very little flexibility. That means your life must cater around this job that you have, which obviously you don't like, which for some strange reason, right? For some strange reason, every time you make a little bit more money on that job, it doesn't seem like it helps. So, working a job every day is a struggle, right? Because obviously that is promoted, right, in our society. You get yourself out of school, you get yourself a job, and everything will be okay, which is not true, right? But that's what's promoted. So you do that, you go that same route, you get yourself a job, and then you get a job, and you say, wow, this is just not enough for me. And then therefore that just loops around into the struggle that we face. And if there was an alternative route, so say if our society, if our culture here in America promoted that you don't get a job, and promoted that you worked hard to start your own business, right? Start your own business. I believe things will be different for a lot of Americans. But obviously that's not the case, right? So they tell you get a job, you get stuck on one, and there's not much you can do about it, right? Because your flexibility is gone. So once you get a job, that's it. You don't have all the time. You don't have all that time that you would if you didn't have it, right? Obviously, I know you got to feed yourself, but you can't do a lot when you have to go to work every day, and then afterwards you're exhausted. So very little will come out of that. So those things contribute to the struggle of the working class, right? Obviously, television, which is the marketing, the advertising that's pushed down our throats and branded into our brains. The debt that we get stuck under is number 2. And let me move over here. And number 3 is the jobs that we work. And if you really think about it, there is the same working class person in New York City, North Carolina, and California. The same. You can pick either one. You know what I'm saying? You can say Las Vegas also. You have a job that is, calculated pay-wise for that city, right? Or for that state, for that area. So there's no difference from living in New York City and living in North Carolina. You can have a job in New York City. Yeah, you get paid more money, but your life is probably not going to be any better than someone living in North Carolina, right? Because if you get paid more money in New York, that's what you got to do. You got to pay more money to live, right? Come down here to North Carolina, and obviously the living expenses is cheaper, but then you'll get paid less money to work on these jobs. And that is how you wind up in the same boat. But you just got to be smart about it. Obviously, you can come down to North Carolina and figure some things out, and have a better life than you would if you was living in a big city, which many people do. But, just generally speaking, you just got to be smarter and kind of, and be aware of those things, right? You got to be aware of those things. And if you're wondering why you're stuck in this route, in this same rotation, you just got to be conscious of those 3 things, okay? But, all right, I'm out. I'll finish up the video with a little bit of me traveling to my job, okay? Hit me up. Holla at y'all guys next time. Peace.